morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Fellowship Board of Directors, I want to welcome everyone gathered on site and online. Whether this is your first time here or you joined us years ago, we're delighted you're here. The best way for newcomers to get more information is to sign our virtual guest book, either via the QR code in your bulletin or at the welcome table in the fireside room. Feel free to stick around for coffee and conversation after the service. Online folks, you too have an opportunity for conversation after the service. Just stay in the Zoom room. The only announcement today is that tomorrow's Tai Chi is not going to happen. So if you were planning to be here tomorrow, please don't show up. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, good morning. Very nice to see all of you. My daughter Ella is here if she indulged me for Father's Day.
Hi.
So she's willing to sing with me. I've done this one before with y'all, but this is special because of Ella being here. This is the Rainbow Connection.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing and keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. And have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da doo, la da 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 dee da doo.
Today, for our service, we turn and face each other to create a circle of community, to feel the power of our connectedness. I invite you to consider this as ritual. We are building ritual muscles, and ritual is a container in which something happens. In this case, we create stronger bonds with each other and with the most essential elements of nature. Soon, we're going to call the directions. We'll stand and we'll face each direction. And each direction is associated with an element of nature and represents some part of our human nature as well. Now, some of you may enjoy this mystical and poetic experience. I'm looking at you, Dr. Sue. And some of you may find it a little bit too woo-woo, a little bit esoteric. But the invitation here is to participate with an open mind, to let yourself go with it and not get too hung up on the factual implications. We're creating space together and holding each other and our planet in care. We're holding each other and our hearts, our broken hearts, our joy-filled hearts, our human hearts in care. And for our purposes today, we're going beyond mere words to do so. So you'll be asked in a bit to rise in body or spirit and turn and face the east, which for us here in Fellowship Hall is toward Highland Avenue. And then we'll turn to the south and the west and the north and back to the center. Did I get those right? I'm always missing these. Thank you. Ben keeps me, and you're sort of like a compass for me. There we go. Now, 2 notes for you. If you are unable to stand and turn, please don't feel that you need to do so. You may stay seated and don't worry about cranking your neck around. We're going to take care of our bodies first. And for you folks online, you may wish to identify the east where you are so that you can then turn in each direction after this. I promise you, you cannot do this wrong, and all levels of participation are welcome. Now, if you will please stand as you are willing and able and face the east.
Spirits of the East, we welcome your clear light of morning, the air of springtime, the breath of inspiration. Imbue us with energy for the community of all living things of which we are a part. Welcome, Spirits of the East.
Welcome, Spirits of the East.
Turn 1/4 to your right. Spirits of the South, we welcome your bright light of noonday sun, the heat of summer, the fire of creativity. Imbue in us passion for our planet and for each other. Welcome, Spirits of the South.
Welcome, Spirits of the South. Turn 1/4 to your right. Spirits of the West, we welcome your sweet, lingering light of dusk, the water of emotion that flows within and among our community. Imbue us with reverence for all the precious waters of life. Welcome, Spirits of the East. Welcome, Spirits of the West.
Turn 1/4 to your right. Spirits of the North, we welcome your deepest dark of midnight, the mysteries of earth and stone and bone. Imbue in us the strength and resilience of our ancestors. Welcome, Spirits of the West.
Welcome, Spirits of the North.
Those typos are my mistake. Please turn to the center. They know. Spirits of the Center, we welcome you as timeless and complete, the place where love prevails. Imbue us with the peace and humility that comes from openness to all wisdom. Welcome, Spirits of the Center.
Welcome, Spirits of the Center.
The circle is cast. Please be seated. Yes, the spirits know. They know. So we're going to sing a little a cappella. And always the beat on the 2 and the 4. You can snap if you want to. You can pat your hands on your lap. You can stomp your feet if you want to. And as we get going, if you want to stand up and get a little funky with it, you can do it. I'm going to sing, and when you pick it up, you can sing along with me. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, we're right here with you. Who makes the future? You know we do. I said, who makes the future? We do, we do. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, we're right here with you. Who makes the future? You know we do. Again. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, we're right here with you. Who makes the future? You know we do. Who sees the future? We do, we do. Who sees the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, we're right here with you. Who sees the future? You know we do. Who plans the future? We do, we do. Plan for the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, I'm right here with you. Plan for the future? You know we do. Hope for the future? We do, we do. Hope for the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, we're right here with you. Who makes the future? You know we do. We make it, makes the future. We do, we do. Who makes the future? We do, we do. Look around, friends, I'm right here with you. Who makes the future? You know we do. Yeah! Just haven't meant that to work. Dan, you have a story for us.
Let me tell you a story. And this is a true story about a man and a church and a lot of flowers. Once upon a time, about 100 years ago, in a country called Czechoslovakia, there was a man named Norbert Chopik. He had started a Unitarian church in the city of Prague. And while he loved his congregation very much, he noticed something was missing. They had great ideas and big hearts, but they didn't have a ritual, something that would help them feel connected, like a big invisible thread tying them all together. Now, Norbert loved nature, and he believed that each person was like a flower, unique, beautiful, and worthy just as they are. So he had an idea. What if everyone brought a flower to church? Any flower at all. From their garden, the roadside, the market, or a friend's bouquet. And what if, when they arrived, they all placed their flowers into one big shared vase? And that's just what they did. People arrived at church, flowers in hand, and placed them into the vase, not because they had to, but because they chose to. By their own free will, they became part of something bigger. At the end of the service, each person took home a different flower, not the one they brought, but a new one, a gift from someone else in the community. That simple ritual, bring a flower, take a flower, was full of meaning. It reminded people that just like flowers, no two of us are exactly the same. And that's not just okay, it's beautiful. Because together, all our differences make something stunning, a bouquet of community. First flower communion was held on June 4th, 1923. It was so beloved that the church repeated it every year, but the story doesn't end there. In 1940, Norbert's wife, Maya Chopik, brought the flower communion to the United States, introducing it to a Unitarian church in Cambridge, Massachusetts. She was also a minister, one of the first women ministers in Europe. And she spread this ritual across many Unitarian and later Unitarian Universalist congregations. Sadly, during World War II, Norbert was arrested by the Nazis for preaching freedom of thought and was killed in a concentration camp. But his legacy and his love for human dignity, for beauty, for freedom, and for community lives on every time we gather for this ritual. So today, when we each bring a flower, we're not just participating in a tradition, we're helping to tell a story, one that began 100 years ago, one that has traveled across oceans and through generations, and one that reminds us this community would not be the same without you. Every flower matters, every person matters, and today we'll make a bouquet of belonging.
Thank you, Dana. So each time we gather, we take a collection, and today, because we're in 4 quadrants, there's going to be a basket for each quadrant. I'm remembering to say that, right? We give half of our non-pledge offering out into the community to organizations that align with our values. And I'll just tell you a little story about our donations. We just gave a couple months ago to Undue Medical Debt. Do you remember that? We gave Undue Medical Debt. This week we got an email, a thank you note from Undue Medical Debt from the organization, and we had collected around $800 for them. They told us that every single dollar that we collect translates into $100 of reduced medical debt. So our $800 added up to $80,000. Does that make sense? Did I do the math right? Yeah, that's look what we did, right? And we're not the only folks that are doing that. Other folks are doing it too. We're not solving all the undue medical debt. We're joining with other people and helping to do that, all right? Today, and all throughout the month of June, we are donating to One Iowa. One Iowa is an amazing statewide organization. They improve the lives of LGBTQ Iowans with education programs for healthcare providers and business leaders, promoting policies that promote protect civil rights, health, and safety for LGBTQ Iowans, leadership training and mentorship programs, and connecting LGBTQ Iowans and allies with vital resources. Of course, the other half of our offering stays here to help us be the community that supports spirituality and justice within and beyond these walls. If you have a smartphone, you can give online at our website, or you can put money in the basket. And if you're online, you know how to give online. And if you're a guest, your presence here with us is gift enough. And now we'll hear again from you.
All right, thank you, Kelly. A funny anecdote. This song, Holy Now, is one of my favorite ones to do and listen to. It's really good for the UUs, of course. And Kelly this morning said, thank you so much for agreeing to do it. And I thought, well, thank you, because I don't want to overuse this, so I would love to play this anytime people are willing to hear it. But I don't want to abuse it, so I'm glad to be able to do it for you today. With Ella.
When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and they would read the holy word, and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split sea into, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a question in child's face, say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. And see another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
And when we gather, we take a few moments to remember how our lives are connected one to another. We share each other's joys, and we share each other's sorrows. And we notice, recognize, name, hold the pain of the world. Hearts are broken this morning among the community that I left in Minnesota, and wider still, for the political assassination of Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and the shooting of Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. We can hardly breathe when we hear such news. We can hardly breathe when we hear such news. And we can come here and feel our grief together, our outrage, our disbelief. This is the place I need to be, with you today, feeling all there is to feel, knowing that the grief may swamp me, but I can come back up over it. When grief comes for us, the sooner we can let it tumble us over, the sooner we can come back up and breathe again. We will breathe again. We will plan for the future. We will make the future. But we must allow ourselves to grieve, to mourn, to be outraged, and to act, all as a part of the cycle. There are a few other things to say this morning. And it helps if I know where I'm saying them. Happy Father's Day, we say this morning. Father's Day can be complex and have multiple experiences. There can be joy and love and grief and resolve and pride and transformation and gratitude, loss and longing. Happy Father's Day. I want to say a word about Wes Shank. I saw Wes on Monday. He has returned home from the hospital, and he is in hospice. And just before the service, I got a text from his son, Matt, to ask how Wes was doing. He's still very cheerful, reading portions of intellectual books, reviewing portions of them that hold meaning for him. When I saw Wes, he said, "I'm at peace. I feel good. I feel I've done my best. I've lived a good life." And then he said this, which was a blessing to me. "And I have faith. I believe that our country will come through this difficult time." At 98 years old, that is something to say. I'll say a word also in celebration of the Juneteenth event yesterday, where many of us showed up under the leadership of Mary Richards. Thank you so much for your leadership. Talking about how we're connected in this community. That is a joy. That's a joy. Many of us were at another event earlier in the morning. We are out in the community. I don't go anywhere where I don't see you all. That's good. That's good. Life is hard. It is hard to be a human these days on this planet, and love is vast. I invite us to create some shared quiet here and lift up names of individuals or people into that quiet so we can hold it all together. People of Gaza. It's painful sometimes to expand our heart so wide to hold the world, but we build that muscle. We build that muscle each week here together and throughout the week on our own. Let's sing to grant us peace.
Oh,
love the Soul Matters program. This thematic set of resources that we use all year long. We use it in our Soul Matters small groups and Creativity Matters and on Sunday mornings. I don't just think up this, that freedom would be a good theme for June. Somebody else thinks that up, and then I get to plug in. So this is the third Sunday that we're talking about freedom. The first of the month, we talked about freedom from. What parts of ourself hold us back from living most authentically? And how do we get in our own way? And how might we get out of our own way? The second Sunday, last week, we talked about freedom with. To whom are we accountable in our quest for freedom? And whose freedom is interdependent with our own? Talked about that last week in preparation for our Juneteenth event, so we could talk about the partnerships that we've made and how we do our own work in order to be good partners out in the world. Today I want to talk a little bit about freedom for. To what uses do we put our freedom? In relationship, in parenting, in partnership, in civic action. How do we celebrate freedom and joy even in the face of the most horrible tragedy? How do we celebrate freedom and joy as an act of resistance? Thinking about today, especially freedom to grieve. Freedom to grieve. Freedom to let ourselves go with our grief and our anger and our rage. And know that we can come back from it to be useful. Freedom to find joy in the midst of grief. And when we have done our own work, and when we work with others in the world, we build integrity as a community to be of use to ourselves, to others, to the world. Freedom allows us to be in authentic relationship, to be responsible citizens, to engage with integrity in civil action, to parent with care. Freedom allows us to parent with care. Some of us, some of you have broken cycles of dysfunction in your own family to be able to be in relationship with care. That's freedom. That's freedom for the next generation. And it's not one and done, right? You who are breaking cycles know that it's continual work. Freedom we continue to work for. Attending to our own liberation allows us to heal religious trauma. Some of us, especially in Unitarian Universalist spaces, some of us come from religious trauma, even religious abuse. And attending to our own freedom and liberation and working on it with each other allows us to reclaim some religious language and say that everything is holy now. That song is about reclaiming when it was just a world half there, and now everything is holy. And when we see that everything is holy, don't we want freedom for everyone? That's the goal of freedom and liberation, is not just for me. Not just for me, because in fact that is not freedom and liberation. If it's not for everyone, it's not truly freedom. If it's not interdependence with integrity and authenticity for everyone, then no one has it. One might say if no one has civil liberties, if everyone doesn't have it, no one has it. One might say if not everyone has due process of law, then in fact no one has it. Huh.
Amen.
Right?
Yep.
This is our statement, our call. that we believe in the worth and dignity of every single human being on this planet exactly as they are right now, especially the ones that we don't like. Lord, that's hard. Freedom means freedom from hatred of the other. And I say to you, as much as others act like they're hating out in the world, and we don't really do that, oh, I got some hatred in my heart. That is the work, the internal work, the communal work. I'd better not say them and us. Those guys and us. We are only about love. There's some hatred brewing in here. And my work toward freedom is to be free of that hatred. That's why it's a spiritual practice. That's why freedom includes everyone or no one. That's why we celebrate with flowers. That's why we celebrate by calling the directions to root ourselves in nature, to believe in the freedom within order and chaos both that exist in nature, that we can learn from it and align with it and be a part of it. That's why we celebrate with flowers today. And also to see that these flowers, beautiful on their own, are more exquisitely beautiful in a vase of diversity. There's diversity in that vase, right? Just like we are here. You are beautiful on your own. Beautiful exactly as you are and on your own. Beautiful. Unique, precious, holy. And look at us all together. Look at us across the way. Look at us all together. Look at you online. We see you. You are beautiful too, exactly as you are in this place. We're going to share some flowers today. You brought them here. They're flowers from your gardens and flowers from the market. You brought them in, and we're going to share them out. Dana explained the story for flower communion for us. Now, here's how we're going to do this, and you can expect some chaos. All right, and folks online, I'm going to have a little instruction for you too, but you just wait a second, all right? Each direction is associated with an attribute, right, that goes along with its nature, whatever it is I'm trying to say. To the east, we're going to call the east inspiration. We're going to call the south creativity, the west flexibility, and the north resilience. All right? So I'm going to ask you to, when it's time to get up and go to the direction that holds an attribute you'd like to bring into your life. Now, you might want all of them, but you're going to choose one, and I'm promising, just don't overthink it, right? Just pick the one you want to go to, right? And somebody's going to be there, and they're going to hand you a flower and give you a blessing. And then you get to take this flower home with you today. Now, if you'd rather not get up and go to a direction, we're going to ask you to just raise your hand, and someone will bring you a flower. And it'll be a grab bag of attributes. You'll just get what comes to you, right? Right. Folks online, you're going to take a few minutes to chat amongst yourselves, and this list is going to be in your chat box. And the idea is, how might you bring one or more of these attributes into your life at this moment? We're going to try this and see how it happens. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Mary's going to give us a little traveling music, and so I invite you to go to the direction you'd like, or raise your hand and we'll bring you a flower. Please. Yes, and they're up here, so yes, there you are. They're on the screens, right? And here you go.
Yay, I got unmuted. Yeah, now we can chat. So, I look at that list and I think that for me, the most important one is creativity.
Oh dear. Transits are still having problems.
But they're here. So
Yeah.
even if they're having trouble, I'm glad they're here.
Well, I'm glad they're here too, Ronnie. But I forget the four things: inspiration, creativity, flexibility, and what was the fourth one?
Sam, do you remember? I'll go to chat. Okay, I'll go to chat. Resilience. Okay.
You could substitute in the rainbow connection.
I couldn't find it on the chat. I thought I put it in the chat, but I couldn't find it.
Well, anybody have any
So
thoughts?
Joan, did you hear me? You could substitute in the rainbow connection.
I can add that for me, it's always flexibility. I'm a very structured person and I have a hard time going with the flow. And parenting has taught me that I need to always strive for flexibility.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was thinking I could bear, like they say, flexibility too. Creativity, New York Times had a week of exercises that were supposed to increase your creativity. And I tried to do it haphazardly. And it wasn't very, maybe if I had been willing to do it more thoughtfully, the creativity has stopped me. I think I might learn to be more flexible than creative.
Well, you don't have to be creative,
Well, and I think I have to be broader in what creativity is.
Am I on? There we go.
It does not have to be artistic creativity.
Thank you, flower blessers. Thank you, flower bringers. And we're going to sing about flowers. We're going to sing De Colores. You heard a little bit of it before. If you would like to stand as you're willing and able, and the lyrics will come up on the two screens. Did you notice we got a second screen over here? Woohoo! Please.
Sun
Don't be seated yet. Let's stay facing the center and we'll close our directions. Spirits of the center, thank you for helping us cultivate and gather in wisdom and peace. Hail and farewell, spirits of the center. Hail and farewell, spirits of the center. And we turn to the north.
Spirits of the north, thank you for helping us cultivate and gather in the strength of the earth and of the ancestors. Hail and farewell, spirits of the north.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the north.
Spirits of the West, thank you for helping us cultivate and gather in the reverence for the waters of life. Hail and farewell, spirits of the West.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the West.
Spirits of the South, thank you for helping us cultivate and gather in the fire of passion for our planet. Hail and farewell, spirits of the South.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the South.
Spirits of the East, thank you for helping us cultivate and gather in inspiration and energy to protect all living things. Hail and farewell, spirits of the East.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the East. And you may be seated. The circle is open but unbroken. Gratitude today for so many people who helped make this come together. Our readers, Dana, Jan, Lee, Tegan, Ben as help with facilitation, Riordan, who was our microphone runner. Thank you, Riordan. Thank you to our tech team, Deborah and Dan. I gave you last-minute instructions for a complicated morning, so thank you for all of that. Thank you, Ronnie Kahn, for helping online. Mary for music, and especially David and Ella for your beautiful, beautiful music this morning. Thank you to coffee makers and treat bringers and cleanup folks and greeters and everyone who came together to make the Sunday morning experience what it is. What a joy to all be together. Beloveds, the way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. We make the future, and we are not alone. Blessed be, and go in peace.